every trek that we do, we're trying to consider it like what you would typically do on a day on the Kilimanjaro climb. And so today we did 8 miles, which would be considered the longest day. So now I'll kind of get a good night's rest, drink some electrolytes, take some amino acids, and just see how I feel tomorrow. And so right now I'm still pretty sore the next day. After a 5-mile moderate to strenuous hike, I'm pretty sore the next morning. And so I'm looking forward to that day as I get stronger and lose a little weight and just continue in my fitness journey, that the next morning I won't be quite so sore. And so once we get to where we're putting 3 or 4 of these days back to back, then we'll know we're more ready for Kilimanjaro, because it'll be 8 days of solid climbing. So just trying to get stronger, get my feet calloused up, and all the things that come into play when you're going to climb a mountain. Climb 20 is an idea that came to us just looking for a way to celebrate the 20th anniversary of ISF, and thought, maybe we could bring everybody together for a banquet, the typical things, and it's just not our style. And all of our volunteers are all across the country. We've got former staff members in 6 different countries around the world, and so bringing people together just didn't seem like it would be a good fit. What's a way to just commemorate this 20-year mile mark for us, and also 10 years of victory over cancer. That's huge in my life. I mark those birthdays every year. And so just one day I was reading some scripture in Ephesians 3:20, and I came across a passage where it talks about that as Christians, we can do amazingly above and beyond anything we could think or imagine because of the power of Him that's in us. And I just kind of pushed back from my desk and I said, okay, God, what's something that I could do I can't even think or imagine? And to celebrate 20 years, and I want to challenge myself, but I didn't know what. And so I just said, climb a mountain. Let's call it Climb 20 and see if we can get 20 people that are willing to go halfway around the world, climb a nearly 20,000 foot mountain, and raise money for a good cause and for our organization. And so I thought, well, we'll see if setting a goal of raising $10,000 would be a deterrent for people. Turns out people that are competitive and want to climb mountains are not scared of raising money.
And when Cheryl presented the opportunity of a fundraiser and the growth of ISF, we were definitely on board.
So I started heavily trying to support Cheryl financially. And then, she talked to me about the climb, and that was the infancy of the climb. And I knew this would help, help ISF financially. And really the big interest in the climb is more, not as much physically, but really to help Cheryl continue the mission and beyond. I mean, she's been doing this for 20 years, and hopefully we can have another 20 years.
When she approached me about this idea for Kilimanjaro, it was a balance of, why wouldn't I?
It's just an exciting time to be a part of ISF, to see it go to the next level. And we were talking in a board meeting the other day about how many trips we could take, and adding people and adding teams and adding staff. And it's just, this Mount Kilimanjaro trip is about building that momentum and getting that excitement.
When I first heard about it, I just knew instantly it's something I wanted to do. I'm a guy who likes a challenge.
There's no way I should be able to climb a mountain with the limitations that I have. And so I just kind of started researching and found Kilimanjaro. It's the world's largest freestanding mountain. And so I thought that'd be a good challenge. And so I read, and they have a less than 50% success rate. So I know a lot of people try it that don't succeed. And the best part is no tactical climbing. So no carabiners, ropes, and gear and things like that. And so just started doing the research and thought, I think I could do this. I think if I trained and lose some weight, it'd be a great physical fitness goal. It'd be a great goal in general. And so I talked to a couple of friends, and they were not on board at first. They thought I was crazy. And they said, you can't do this. So I emailed my doctors immediately. They were the first people I know. That's the first hurdle. And my lung doctor, Dr. Melissa Rhodes, was very on board to walk with me through this journey, because I think she sees so many people that just give up. That if they have to use oxygen, they have COPD. My uncle died from COPD. And so I've seen what people go through when their lungs just won't function.
The Climb 20 is also going to be marking a 10-year as a survivor. And I know that her mindset is that one from victory. And so that's very encouraging.
August 15th was my 9th year celebration of my last treatment. So next August will be my 10th anniversary. And right after cancer, I knew I had some lung issues that I was going to have to deal with. And I guess each year I just realize that I just have to keep asking myself, why not? There are a lot of people out there that are just waiting to be inspired. They're just waiting for somebody to say, you could do this.
Everything you do is a challenge, and there are certain struggles along the way. And so I want to push myself. I want to challenge myself.
You can do a lot more than you think you can sometimes if you just put forth the effort.
Never let fear of the unknown or something you don't understand or you don't know what it would be like prevent you from setting a crazy, amazing goal for yourself.
I would love to stand on the top of that mountain and look out over this beautiful land that God has created.
There is a reason I am on this earth, and it's not just for me. It's, whatever it is, it needs to stop being about me and start being about, His work.
What God has called us to as followers of Christ is a lifestyle. It's one where we follow Christ wherever we're at and whatever we're doing. For right here and right now, ISF is where I'm supposed to be.
What more can you say than I'm going to Africa to climb a mountain to raise money to send the gospel to people around the world?
growing up in church, you always hear people talk about mountaintop experiences. Yeah, the mountaintop experiences are really neat, but people never talk about the journey to get to the top of that mountain. You know, they never talk about the struggles that took them to get to where they were, where they had this awesome experience. So I'm looking forward to seeing the top, being on the summit, yes, but I'm looking forward to the growth and the challenges of literally 8 days of climbing straight up. You know, just pushing myself further than I've ever pushed myself before.
I just never thought I'd make it.
It's mental now. You gotta keep it together. And
The day before yesterday, I thought I was gonna die. I just didn't think I could walk any further.
Summit night was exciting. It was exciting because we left at 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock at night. It was exciting because that was our goal was going to be accomplished in the near future.
We're hiking along, we're walking and walking. We hiked probably 2 hours and just stopping for a little sip of water here and there, and knowing that we needed to keep moving so that we could hopefully summit about the same time as the rest of the team. They were going to start at midnight, and so we kept hiking. And after we got up, getting close to 17,000 feet, we'd been hiking for a little over 4 hours, and I remember thinking, I'm just not able to control my feet and legs like I think I am. I started stumbling a little bit, and so that's when Dr. Mark pulled me aside and said, we need to check your pulse ox again. And
well, here our blood ox would be in the 90 range, 90 plus range. When hers is going to be lower because of her capacity being lower, and then you take our blood oxygenation level at the summit range of Mount Kilimanjaro, it's going to be a lot less because the air is so thin. I mean, we're running the 70s, 60s, and she unfortunately started dropping in the 50 level. And that became very, very dangerous, and we'd let her stop, and it might get back at 70 for a while, and then she'd walk, and it would drop back in the 50s, and eventually it just didn't go back. And that's when I got very concerned.
And I said, well, and he said, well, what do you want me to do? What do you think? And I said, well, I think I know the answer. I think it's over. And he said, yeah, I can't let you keep going at this rate, at this level of oxygen. He said, Cheryl, 55 is critical, and you're not able, after even sitting this long, I could only get up to about 54. And he said, you're at critical hypoxia. I can't, in good conscience, let you continue.
Cheryl and I had multiple discussions before summit night, months before summit night, that if this happened, medically I couldn't allow her to go any further. I also had discussions with her physician, Dr. Willis Red, and told her that, we're not going to take a chance.
And so I remember sitting there thinking, okay, this is what this feels like, to be told you can't go any further.
Her lung capacity just wasn't enough, not because of lack of training, not because of anything she did. It's basically because her treatment was so aggressive that that's one of the side effects of her treatment. Her lung capacity will never be what it used to be.
And we just got word, as we were kind of having this interchange, just got word that the rest of the team had almost caught us, because they had been hiking for about 2.5 hours, so they'd almost got to our position. So I said, let's just sit down and rest for a minute. We were kind of at a little bit of a clearing, and said, let's just sit down and rest for a minute and let the team catch us. No, we didn't. So we're good. I feel good about everything. I think everybody's done an amazing job. I don't feel bad. I'm emotional, of course, but I promised my mom and dad that if it got dangerous, I'd turn around. So it's dangerous, and I'm going to turn around.
Not worth risking our lives.
No, this is not going to be my legacy. Is Thomas here? Yeah.
He's right here.
What's up, man? Take the summit for me. Do it for the Wolfingers. And I'll see you. Well, I won't because I'll be sound asleep by the time y'all get back. Y'all carry on, take the summit. I'm proud of every one of you. I don't feel bad. I just know I did all I could do, and that's what I got. So I know it's cold and y'all are freezing, standing still, so carry on. Bye-bye.
Love you, Cheryl.
Love y'all too. Thank you.
All right, I'm not thinking about a hug.
All right.
There's nothing that really can prepare you for altitude other than being at altitude. So even like the most physically in shape people can have a really hard time at altitude.
It's not fair to the situation for us to look at it as a turning back. I think she made it to 17,000 feet and was predicted to be 14, max 15,000. I mean, she went so much further than even her pulmonologist had projected. And so she had a win. She won. She defied the odds.
For me to have worked as hard as I could and made it as far as I could on the mountain, but something completely out of my control took the victory away from me, or my version of victory, I had to start looking at other ways to claim victory on that mountain. And for me, there was a huge victory in seeing 23 other people continue on up that mountain with resolve to see the summit.
This is a team of Christians from a lot of different places who've come together for a common purpose, and to go through, I guess, a struggle like that, to go through something that I'm sure is going to bring us all closer together, and to be standing at the top together. You know, it's got to be a powerful experience.
I feel good. I'm ready to get to the top.
Now that's awesome. What's that?
It's crazy, we're crying over there. What a trip.
All right.
What a trip. Unfreaking believable.
There's just no way to articulate a life-changing to the bone experience.
I didn't have a heart at all for missions. This has opened that up to be able to not be as guarded and fearful is what it really comes down to by getting involved.
I believe that there are a lot of people in this world that just sit around waiting to be inspired, and it just takes people like us to come along and say, let's do this, let's climb this mountain, let's achieve these goals, whatever it is that you set out before yourself. If somebody will just believe in you, you can accomplish pretty incredible things.